push away the gum, the soft tissue, get it out of the way. Okay. Lets us see better. It lets us kind of plan our approach. Okay. Turn towards me, please. Thank you. We go all the way around the tooth. Okay. Turn towards me a little bit more. And really, one of the first things we did, which was off camera, was we verified the site, meaning we recited exactly which tooth. You might not want to think about this, but all the teeth kind of look alike, so we need to verify which tooth is coming out. In this case, we do it by saying Esmeralda. So taking out the upper right, second premolar. Correct, Esmeralda? All right. So yeah, tooth number 4. And that's the one we did. And indeed, we got the right side this time. Now in this case, it's kind of obvious it's the broken tooth, okay? It needs to come out. But it's not always so obvious sometimes, you know? And you should always verify the site. Okay? So these are called elevators. And what we do is we kind of wedge them in between the tooth and the bone. We kind of tease the tooth out, okay? Now, what do you feel? Do you feel any discomfort? Okay, but you're going to feel a lot of pressure, okay? I can't take that pressure away. So what's going to most likely happen, this tooth has a big cavity in it, okay? It is almost a guarantee that the tooth is going to break. Not always, but it's not going to surprise me at all if it breaks. And that's okay. I do have a rule though. You do not swallow the tooth or any part of it, okay? That's our rule. And you might hear some clicking, some popping. That is largely because the tooth is breaking. Okay. Continue to tease the tooth out. And once we say, okay, it's starting to loosen up a little bit. This tooth is actually loosening up a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see it in the video, but it's moving a little bit. Now, part of the tooth is moving because it's fractured, and just the part that's broken is moving. The part of it is moving, and I can feel this, and it's not really translating nicely to the viewers, I don't think. But I can feel the root moving when I put pressure on it. And so that is when we say, okay, something we call mobility. The tooth is moving. It is time to start, I guess, the pulling process. It's called luxating, and we use these instruments called forceps to do that. Okay, and even to a certain extent, my elevators can luxate a little bit. But we try to get really low down on the tooth. I try to reach past the part that's broken, more on the root surface. Okay, yeah, you hear that snap. That's part of the tooth breaking. And we kind of just put gentle pressure. You're going to feel a lot of pressure, okay? There's kind of a misconception that we do. There is, at the very end, when we go to remove the tooth from the jaw, there is some pulling force involved. But it's kind of a misnomer in a large way. Because it's also kind of pushing and gentle swaying back and forth. Okay, and that's really what separates the tooth from the jawbone. Okay, we're going to go on the outside and we hold. And you don't have to use some force in pushing, but it doesn't have to be a violent procedure at all or traumatic. In fact, we try to mimic how traumatic this procedure is by taking our time and using steady, constant, and gradual pressure. And just by waiting and taking our time, you can see how much more movement I'm getting now. I haven't really done much different, honestly. Time sometimes is all it takes. But you can see that now the tooth has got a lot more mobility. And it's about to come out. So at this point now I am using a little bit of pulling forces to finally take the tooth free. And it's actually already released from the jawbone. At this point, there's sometimes mechanical forces, kind of like a lock and key, where the root is locked into. It doesn't want to come out too easily. But it's really not a lot of force. And there we have it. And you can see this tooth has two roots, and you can see that soft tissue around it. That's a cyst. So we can see that infection on the x-ray. And you can also see it clinically when the tooth comes out. You can see I was over by the root surface, and the tooth didn't even break through badly. So in this case, the tooth came out in one piece. Yes, you can see. You must see his tooth. Yeah. So that's how we take out the tooth. You know, it's not our first choice. I usually try to save the teeth. But sometimes it's your best choice when the tooth can't be saved. You waited too long, or it just doesn't make sense to sink a lot of resources into a single tooth. It's a procedure we do regularly here at Joy Dental Science, and now you can kind of see what it's like. And tell me, was that very, very uncomfortable for you?
It was amazing. It wasn't uncomfortable. It didn't hurt. It was very gentle. A wonderful experience, and it makes you feel like family.
Well, we really appreciate you saying so, and I hope that gives you some insight. If you need a tooth out, that's what you can expect, okay? So now it's pretty straightforward. We just cleaned up here. I rinsed out really well. We put a dressing. I don't even think you need a suture. You know, sometimes we close up with a suture. In your case, probably not necessary. And yeah, I think you're gonna heal real nicely. The infection came out with the tooth. You don't even need antibiotics. Yeah, let's get that done. That's okay. And yeah, you're gonna be just fine, I think. Okay. So thanks for joining us today, and hopefully we'll see you real soon. Take care.